Good morning, everybody. My name is Stephanie Snow Gebel, and I'm the proud founder of the Snow Foundation, and I am going to be presenting Dr. Fumi Urano's slides today. Please remember, I'm not an MD, I'm not a PhD. I just raise a lot of money to help researchers like Dr. Barrett to help you guys. So bear with me on this. So basically, Dr. Fumi Urano wanted me to present therapeutic development in clinical trials for Wolfram syndrome. He's got a three-step process, as Dr. Barrett said in the beginning. The first is to stop the progression. How can we stop the progression of this disease? The second is to protect and regrow remaining tissues. And the third is how can we replace damaged genes and tissues? So he wants to find a drug. His ultimate goal was to find a drug targeting the upstream problem. And with upstream, it's like the root of the problem. How can we fix the root of the problem instead of just chasing bladder problems, hearing problems, visual problems, because that's what we all have. And we want to just correct the endoplasmic reticulum stress, which is the root of the problem for Wolfram syndrome. He found a drug. It's an FDA-approved drug. So what this means is it's already been approved in the US. I don't know if it's approved here, dantrolene, but he found this drug and it targets the ER stress of Wolfram syndrome. He had positive results in cell and mouse models of WS, and this drug's been approved for two medical conditions, muscle stiffness and high fever due to anesthesia. So he's conducting an ongoing clinical trial right now in adult and pediatric patients. I have a daughter who has Wolfram syndrome, and she's 12, and she's currently on this medicine, and she has been on it since the beginning of the year. So if you guys want to come up and talk to me about it, please do, because I'll be here all day. So all the patients take dantrolene sodium, and you heard this a little bit earlier. They want to assess the safety, the tolerability, and the efficacy of this drug. It's administered oral, so they all take a pill form, although my daughter takes liquid because she's so tiny, she can't take the pill. The endpoints of this are safety and tolerability. So Fumi's checking liver enzymes, muscle strength. They're looking at the remaining beta cell function, how much insulin is produced from the patient's pancreas. Best corrected visual acuity, is their vision staying the same or is it getting better? It could go down, but I like to be positive. Neurological functions, balance, bladder, and etc. Quality of life, how has it affected these kids and these young adults while they're taking it? This is a dantrolene clinical trial progress timeline. So back in 2016, the FDA approved the ODD, which is an orphan drug designation. Dr. Urano worked with Dr. Barrett and the European Medicine Agency to get the orphan drug designation for here, for Europe, which includes England. And in 2017, Fumi got the investigational new drug approved, and earlier this year, the trial started, the phase 1B safety. So it's just a safety trial just to make sure that the pediatric and adults can take it. So there are currently 21 patients taking this drug right now since October. He does get more patients, but right now he's got 21. So here's a timeline. It's a drug repurposing timeline, and it's the phase 1B is the clinical trials in USA, which is Urano's. Phase 2 clinical trials, which is Barrett's team here in the UK. The timeline's like 2016 to 2019. In 2020, although Fumi did say it's still really undecided. They're hoping to do a phase 3 clinical trial, Barrett and Urano, multi-center international trial. You can answer questions on that, Dr. Barrett, if they have any. Okay, so here we're talking stop the progression. So you've got your FDA-approved drugs, and then you have your novel drugs, which are the new drugs. So he wants to identify new drugs that can prevent the WFS1 gene depletion-mediated cell death. He's got 2 joint drug development programs going on right now, and it's a work in progress. Research is a complete work in progress, and when I first started this foundation, I was antsy, just like all of you, and I used to talk to Fumi every day, and he used to say, you know, research is a marathon. And I'm like, no, I want it to be a sprint. Let's sprint. And he used to say, well, then we'll run fast in this marathon. But it's a work in progress. He's working right now with the National Institute of Health, which I visited with him a couple years ago to put Wolfram syndrome on the map. And our NIH seems to fund research clinics that work with patient organizations like the Snow Foundation. The other development program he's working with is with Amulix Pharma. So basically, these are 2 new medicines that are going to hit the ER stress stabilizers. The first one is an ER calcium regulator, and it's called JTV519. This drug Fumi likes because he actually likes this better than dantrolene because it can penetrate brain and eye cells better. He's doing a preclinical study in Wolfram mice right now, and he's hoping to do a clinical study in healthy human subjects. The second drug is a chemical chaperone. It's a new drug that targets ER stress. We don't know the name of it. They're not releasing it. Amulix isn't releasing it. It's a preclinical study in Wolfram cells in mice, and it's a clinical study in healthy human subjects. So the anticipated timeline on this is 2017 to obtain the orphan drug designation, and also 2017 to test in mouse models. He wants to test diabetes, he wants to test visual acuity and balance. 2018, he wants to assemble a clinical trial team, and then 2018-19, he wants to do the phase 1B or phase 2 study in patients with Wolfram syndrome. With the Amulix drug, he's hoping to bypass the phase 1B because they are actually studying this drug in ALS patients right now. So that's stopping the progression. How do you protect and regrow remaining tissues? Fumi wants to foster our natural ability to create new cells. Oh, I know, I'm sorry. So he wants to use MAMF. And everybody has to memorize this. I'm not joking. It's like the hardest thing to say, but it's mesencephalic astrocyte-derived neurotropic factor. It's a biologic that's produced in our own bodies. So he's got a MAMF-based treatment, and he wants to work on reversing vision loss. This biologic can actually help neurodegeneration and help beta cells, but he's going to just do retinal degeneration. There are 2 MAMF-like drugs that he wants to use, and I'm going to get my notes just because I don't want to screw this up. The first MAMF is a receptor agonist, and it's a pill form. So you take it as a pill, and it mimics your actual MAMF in your body. The second one is AAV MAMF, and it's a gene therapy, and it's pronounced adenol. Did I say it right, Dr. Barrett? Adenol-associated virus. So this is a virus-expressing MAMF. It's a safe virus, and this virus can only get into the retinal ganglion cells. Anticipated timeline on this, 2017, 2018. He's going to test this in mouse models, but he's only testing visual acuity. 2018, 2019, he wants to assemble a regulatory team, and in 2020, he's hoping to do human studies. So now we're going to do replace damaged genes and tissues. So he wants to replace disease-causing DNA with the healthy one, and he wants to use CRISPR-Cas9 to do this. So basically, I knew I was going to hit that. So basically on this, he wants to take DNA, mix it with CRISPR-Cas, and then what you do is you replace the bad DNA with the new DNA. This is a ways away, though, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, it sounds great, but there's still a lot of research to be done on this. The other thing of replacing damaged tissues is to do brain cells and eye cells from skin cells. So basically, he's using iPS cells, which are induced pluripotent skin cells. These are cells that he's taken. He took my daughter's cells, and what you do is he wants to use them in the eye and the brain. So you're going to take these cells. They can differentiate into other cells, so you have to be careful with that. But the idea is to replace the abnormal WS sequence with the normal WS sequence in the iPS cells derived from patients. So lots going on, lots of research. The anticipated timeline is early stage preclinical studies for gene therapies and stem cells, 2017 to 2020. I would say after 2021, preclinicals, first in human studies. And a lot of other people are doing CRISPR-Cas. It's not just Fumi Urano, correct, Dr. Barrett? That's about it. Did I meet my 15-minute time limit? Thank you very much.